forget. He's like, why didn't you remind me? He should have reminded me. Welcome back to Truth Hurts, where we expose corrupt politicians and lying corporate media. I'm Jake Duesenberg. We're broadcasting live from the belly of the beast in Roseville, Minnesota. Joining me, as usual, part of the Political Junkies, Maggot Jesse. How you doing there, buddy?
Yeah, doing good. I think we got a lot to expose today, so ready to get into it.
All right. Also joined for the first time ever on the show, one of the most interesting people I know. I call him the Bandit Godfather. His name is Craig. Craig, tell people who you are.
Who am I?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just a frustrated old man.
Frustrated old man.
Right.
That
With
works.
the way society is today. No, what, like a little elevator pitch you'd like?
Yeah, give me your best elevator pitch.
I'm just a guy who grew up in a small town, 9 months of cooking school, raised 4 kids, and let me see what else. And now we currently build the steps that the president walks up on.
That's true. I totally forgot. You are an expert. If Biden slips on the staircase going up, you own the company, Steiner, that builds those staircases.
We built the presidential stairs. Yes.
And before we get into our subject, you actually had a expert opinion on what happened when he slipped, and it was not your staircase. It was
no, because it was funny. Because the day he did, my phone's blowing up. Right, everybody's going, "Hey, how'd you do that? That's amazing. Good job."
Yeah.
It's like, what are you guys talking about? And then I see the video, and pretty soon, my desk phone rings, and I looked at the caller ID, and it said Air Force on. Oh, God. And so I'd watched the video a dozen times just to see if it was, something, bad, whatever, right? If it was on us. And the general always calls me Mr. Craig. And he goes, "Hey, Mr. Craig." I said, "Not my fault."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, I got to call somebody." And I said, "There's a lot more people than me, man." A great guy. And he goes, "So I take it you saw the video?" And I said, "Yeah." But again, it wasn't our fault. Because, so when the presidential stairs go out, if you ever see them, when they're fully extended, it's actually 2 stairways. Mm-hmm. And there's about a 3-foot flat spot, and then you have another set of steps, right? If you ever watched any other president, from Obama, Trump, anybody that's ever walked down those stairs or up, they use the handrail, and they flat-foot it. Mm-hmm. Okay, because it's not a red carpet. It's more like a felt. Mm-hmm. Okay, we don't put it on. They put it on at Andrews. We changed that design now for him, so we'll have a red texture material. But he tried to go up. What is he, 80?
Yeah, he's 80 now. Yep.
80 years old, brand new. You could tell the shoes, brand new leather-soled chukka boots. And he tried to jog up on his toes. Mm-hmm. Jesse's gonna fall.
Yeah.
Okay, your toes, and your toes are gonna slip. And the thing that made me look twice at it was because if you ever walk up a step or down a step, one's off, even an eighth of an inch, you can feel it. And so at first I thought that's at the transition, that's what happened. But he wasn't even a third of the way up the steps.
Yeah.
And then and so it just kept happening. And I told the general, I said, "Dude, either get him rubber-soled shoes, or tell him to flat-foot it." Like when you seen Trump walking down, when he first came out, he was going to run, how he walked down those carpeted stairs at Trump Towers. Yep. He flat-footed each step, hung onto the handrail. Okay, you just I've slid downstairs, okay, myself, and, and so it's
we
like.
all have. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, just be a mature adult. And at your age, at 80 years old, hang onto the handrail, walk flat-footed, and be smart about it. Don't try to jog up a carpeted stairs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so then now it's becoming when he tripped in Poland. I got the video, and it was like, no, not my stairs, okay? But I know where it happened at the transition plate. Mm-hmm. That was a step that was out of sync.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Okay, you could tell right where he was at, and so his next step, because he walked, and then his next step was out of sync, and he caught his toe. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was stairway operator issues.
All right, we finally got to the bottom of this. The inferior stairways, those are not Steiner's products. Steiner products, great. It's Biden's fault for sure. Biden, get your shoes together. Get a better shoe game, right?
Yeah, get rid of those leather-soled shoes.
Get rid of those
shoes.
Get rid of a lot of other things, by the way, but let's start with the shoes, okay?
That is so fascinating. I never thought that's one of those things where it's like you don't think that much thought goes into the stairs that the president walks up into an airplane. That's there's a whole business behind it. That's so cool.
You also make the lavatories. You don't make the shitters for Air Force One.
Yeah, so now they got the 2 new planes coming in, right?
Yeah.
So they're buying all new equipment to service,
Yeah.
2 sets of equipment to service the 2 new planes. And so, yeah, there'll be a lavatory service truck, a potable water truck, 2 new stairs. Because those stairs travel with the president when they go overseas.
Right. Yeah. There's a whole
Okay.
C-130 or
Yeah.
something that
and
travels.
so they
with
got to
the
be air
president.
transportable.
Yeah.
Now, they don't take the lav and water trucks, but they take the stairs with them.
Yeah.
And so that's why pretty much wherever the president's going to land in the United States, at the airport pretty much has a set of presidential stairs, we'll call them.
Right. Gotcha. Interesting stuff. Also running the dials, you heard from him already, Mr. Deep State himself, Dawson. Dawson, those arms looking massive.
I know. Isn't this lighting super good for it?
Yeah.
I'm proud of what I got set up here.
By the way, if you want to meet some of these cats, we're going to be at the Citizens Council for Health Freedom event tonight in Lake Alamo, so you can stop on by. No
Y'all better
one
have
reading
me.
the comments today. Bridget's not able to do most Thursdays now. We do have Biden in her stead, so I'll try my best to read the comments. What's Base Minnesota says? Craig looks like if Mort used the old person Snapchat filter.
Fortunate for him.
Oh my God! And it looks like we have the Patriot Carl Nelson on our on our comment section as well. All right, let's get right in. Well, before we get to our topic at hand, I want to bring up this. We did the state fair, great success. Here are the results of your straw poll. This is very unscientific, but let's just be honest. Someone ran away with this thing. And I think you could tell, not any other candidate, and hidden behind all of them is Christie. It was pretty pathetic. I didn't want to show Christie's. And then the other bucket, which included Pence and everyone else, that's hidden behind these two. Those are the winners. But, I mean, it's not even close. What is, the polling right now? It's Trump's at 60% or something like that.
Yeah,
in the Republican primary?
it just depends what you're looking at. But yeah, I mean, basically, it's Trump has 60 to 70%, and everybody else is splitting up the rest of it. So,
I mean, that's what it looks like here.
Christie said he had 13% the other day.
oh yeah,
Yeah, in New Hampshire.
Yeah,
I
in
New
think.
Hampshire or something.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. He's doing it right there, I guess. But yeah, so this is basically following the national polls. This is what we've seen.
yeah. No, and it was pretty obvious from the people coming up to the booth. We would tell them you can you get 4 of these kernels, you can divide it up, you can put it all in one, whatever you want to do. And almost all the people would say it's going all in Trump.
Yeah.
And that's just the way the people are seeing it. They see that he's being persecuted with witch hunts, and the only way that we can stand up and fight against the deep state may be with Trump, and Trump is ready to fight it.
Do you know how many cheese balls I ate when we got those buckets? Because that's what we ended up doing. We get the big cheese ball buckets. That's what those are. And they were like, well, we're conservatives, so we're not just going to throw away the cheese balls. Oh, my God. I must have gone through a bucket myself that weekend. That was a really bad decision.
Yeah, and I
Bad
think
life
it was
decision in that one. We got to watch this video from a hater on the Chinese TikTok. This was just brought to my attention right before we went live. So this is somebody who's rating booths, political booths at the state fair. Fair and balanced coverage here, right? So what do you know about this lady?
Well, I think we can just play it, and
let's play it.
I'll explain it.
Dump Biden. Went to the Dump Biden booth with the intention of finding out what their candidates think about the childcare crisis. So I go up and I give my spiel about the childcare crisis, and then I say, what are your candidates going to do to help American families pay for childcare? And the first thing that was said to me was, Biden sends money to Ukraine. What? I looked at the woman and I said, I'm not talking about Ukraine. I'm talking about the childcare crisis, to which a man steps in.
She's
He says, your
assuming
children are
genders a
not
lot.
your own. I shit you not. I was like, what? He's like, many, many people say your children are owned by the government. People on your side of the aisle say that. I was like, who has said that? Who are the many, many people? He goes, many, many people. I go, don't give me names. He goes, I gotta go look at my YouTube. He couldn't get his YouTube to work, so the next thing out of his mouth was, I just want teachers to stop indoctrinating our children. I was like, sir, I am just trying to talk about the childcare crisis, to which he replies, none of the candidates are talking about the childcare crisis. How would I know anything about the childcare crisis? To which this man steps in and he goes, "Ma'am, I feel like you're making a lot of good points about the childcare crisis. I know nothing about it. I'm going to have to do my own research." And for that, the Dump Biden booth gets a negative 99,000 out of 10 just because
Oh,
someone
damn it.
said they
I
will
lost
do their
it.
own research.
A negative 99,000 from the infamous, what's her name?
Y'all don't need to know it.
Don't need to know? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what her.
Do you remember who that person is? Do you-
I remember her coming up to the booth, and she kind of had those crazy liberal eyes, and she was talking about the child tax credit, and we were telling her, well, that's not even what we're talking about here. Obviously, we're talking about the Ukraine. We're talking about the the unconstitutional actions of Joe Biden. We're not talking about child care. But she just kept going on and on about it. She didn't seem to remember the fact that I quoted Hillary Clinton and how Hillary Clinton said that, it takes a village to raise a child, and that, the government needs to be involved and that the parents should lose their rights. Apparently that didn't register in her mind, or she didn't seem to remember it for her TikTok there. But she just went on and on, basically just to get her to leave. I said, oh yeah, that's real interesting. I got to do some looking into that. I'll do my research on that. But she was just, a crazy person out of her mind. And in the entire TikTok, she also analyzes the Republican Party booth and the Libertarian Party booth. And I guess because I said I'll do my own research, we are slightly above the Libertarians and the Republicans in her mind. So that's just how it goes. But yeah, there were a few crazy people like that. But, for the most part, people were positive.
I have the perfect person
Yeah.
for you for the child care crisis.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because as you know, down Blooming Prairie,
Yeah.
we created Leo Augusta Children's Academy for the sole purpose of child care is in dire need within the community, and a lot of people have gotten out of the workforce because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So my CFO, Amy, is the chairperson for the Leo Augusta Children's Academy, and we were just talking about it on the way up today of how the community needs to step up to the plate, okay? Because there's I'm going to screw this up, and she's going to be all over my ass, but what they pay child care, so like kinder care, or what are they up here, Horizon?
Yeah.
Okay, you pay for what you get, right? And so in Amy, they pay what down in Blooming Prairie, we pay what they would pay a teacher, blah, blah, blah. And they take it really serious, but she's a strong advocate that you cannot put up a facility, hire the people, pay them a decent wage, and keep child care costs affordable. Okay, and so it's a catch-22, right?
Yep.
How do you keep child care affordable? Because I don't care how many jobs you create. I just want people to fill the jobs that are already out there. Okay, and so that's a big subject. Okay, so she wasn't too far off. It is a huge subject, but nobody wants to really talk about it because it's not like a hot button, but it is for people with children.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, like people like her, and I'd love to have her on the show, right? Let's bring her on the show. She can make her case. And thank you for watching the show, because that's where you got that screen capture of Mega Jessie. But it's like the solution is probably more government to her. What's the problem? Where was the problem created? By government, right? Why is childcare so expensive? Well, heavily regulated. Why is it also so expensive? Because inflation is going through the roof, and average households right now can't afford to pay for childcare. They can't afford to pay for hardly anything, and so they're forced in this predicament. It's all done by
at the booth. I was kind of saying a couple of things like Craig was saying here, that obviously it's better if people are able to work. Obviously it's better if people are making a good wage. And those are all, real things that should be dealt with. But, I think that she was picking that specific issue because she was trying to, people come up to the booth talking about things that we're not talking about to try to pin us down on something that, so they can make some stupid TikTok like that. And, it's just,
It's called a blind side.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah. Well, you're on your feet. So, hey, we got a Rumble rant from K-Wall for Life. Our son, Seawall for Life, wants a shout-out from me. So, hey, Seawall. It's so funny. K-Wall, T-Wall, and Seawall. I love it. The whole family of walls. How many walls do you have in your family? That's what I'm curious. So, at least there's 3 we know of. K-Wall, T-Wall, and Seawall.
How many walls do you have in your house? I've got 4.
All right, let's get into this story here. So, Trump, not on the ballot, apparently. That's the movement that's happening in most states in the nation, maybe all of them, but it's even happening here in Minnesota. Jesse's got the story. What did you find out about this?
Yeah, so I think it was Fox 9 just did an interview with the Secretary of State, Steve Simon, who loves election fraud in Minnesota. And, he was beating around the bush, not really answering a lot of the questions in it. But basically what, people are arguing under the 14th Amendment, Section 3, that Trump can be removed from the ballot. And Steve Simon says that it's not the Secretary of State's office of Minnesota that decides who's on the ballot or determines eligibility. He said it's all up to the courts. And he says that he will follow the courts no matter what. And that it's probably going to work its way all the way up to the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court. And Steve Simon also said that in the situation where a candidate is removed from the ballot, let's say that this legal matter doesn't get resolved until after the primary election because Trump is going to be the GOP nominee unless something crazy happens. So he was saying that in the situation where a candidate must be removed from the ballot, there is no laws in Minnesota to stipulate how exactly that process would unfold. So that could be all kinds of things, even to the point where the Democrats just outright remove a Republican candidate altogether.
Is that why Waltz is calling a special session?
No, that's about.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, Tim Walz, that's what these Democrats want more than anything. It's so much easier to win an election when you don't have an opponent. And, they claim to be for democracy. The most anti-democratic thing people can do is removing the choice for people to be able to vote and for who they want to be able to vote for.
So if Trump gets removed from the ballot, are they going to have to put up one of the other Republican primary people?
Well, it'd be unprecedented, I mean, they referenced in, I think it was 2016, Jake, you probably know about the Bob Barrett case, the candidate who was running for state house that didn't really live in his district. Some of that stuff still goes on now. But, and they were able to, in that situation, I think, put a replacement candidate in. But there's no laws that stipulate
That went to
it.
a special election.
Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah. So, I guess we'll find out as it goes on. But I can't imagine that if it gets to the U.S. Supreme Court, I do not think the U.S. Supreme Court is going to say that Trump cannot be on the ballot. I think they are going to, it's all speculation, but I would imagine the Supreme Court is going to force these states to put him on the ballot.
This is what the 14th Amendment says. You can pull this up. It looks like you got a Hill link.
Yeah,
it's
14th
Amendment passed when? When was this passed?
After the Revolutionary War, yeah, or Civil War.
No, this is Clause 3. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress. God, I fucking hate how they write legal stuff. Mm-hmm. Like comma. It's like, what are you trying to say? And they always have these little provisions, comma, provision, comma.
Yeah.
All right. Who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, here we go, now here's the meat and potatoes, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof, but Congress may, by vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. So what they're arguing, and if you pull up that Star Tribune article here, we got a parent legal scholar at St. Thomas in Minnesota, St. Paul, St. Cloud. Sorry, I can't talk. St. Thomas in St. Paul. He's part of a legal analysis, and there's some pretty notoriety legal scholars that have agreed with us that it's really the part of the third clause of the 14th Amendment, given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof, is why he doesn't even need to be convicted here. Mm-hmm. Because what they've done now is they've convicted people on January 6th, which seems a little crazy. We might get into that today. And so therefore Trump can't be president of the United States. Mm-hmm. Now, how the hell is that going to go over with the people?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And nobody, even the Democrats admit that this is all politically motivated. And Tim Kaine, the, forgettable VP candidate to Hillary Clinton back in 2016, the, Democrat who's been there forever in the U.S. Senate, He was actually the chair of the Democrats before that, but he, towards the tail end of Trump's first term there, was trying to argue using the 14th Amendment to disqualify Trump from running for president again, and the Democrats never took that offer up. The Democrats never even pursued it. So now they're trying to do it after the fact, and they wouldn't have even had the votes to pull it off even if they tried to do it then. So first, you're right that, they're trying to do it without even having to prosecute him, without even having to have any kind of guilt. Trump never told anybody to invade the Capitol. Trump never told anybody to be violent. Trump always told people be peaceful, and Trump was supposed to speak in front of the Capitol on January 6th. If he was there, I think a lot of this would have been avoided, but the Secret Service didn't let him.
So do you think that's like a conspiracy, like to make sure that all happened? Because when I look at these sentencings of, I don't know if you saw this, Craig, 22 years for the leader of the Proud Boys.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that question. What did he do to get 22 years?
Well, that's the goofiness. I didn't follow the trial. I mean, he was convicted months ago, but just got sentenced the other day.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't there. Doesn't mean you have to be there. They found it for seditious conspiracy, which don't we have that in here? Yeah. Let me pull this up real quick. Seditious conspiracy, U.S. Code. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, and
okay.
I'm
so that means if two
that
or more persons in any state or territory, any place subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, conspire to overthrow, put down, or destroy by force the government of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So they allege that he created this group called subgroup of the Proud Boys, which are supposedly white supremacists, although the Proud Boys I've seen in Minnesota are like a lot of them are black people, which is goofy. They're white supremacists, black
and the
people. Leader,
right?
Yeah, leader. I mean, the guy that went what's his name, Torria or something like that.
I don't know.
So basically, that he conspired and formed this group inside the Proud Boys called the Self-Defense Group or something like that. Not offense, but self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
And then that subgroup was the one that committed the atrocity and had this plan. Now I've heard everything from they texted in the morning hey, where should we all meet up today?
Mm-hmm.
So big conspiracy. They didn't even know where they were
They
going to meet
got
up.
breakfast.
Yeah. They act like this was some big design, and I don't think the government proved that it's some big design that they're doing it. So really, the conspiracy in a lot of people that I've talked to about this is that they set this whole thing up because they pretty much want to scare anyone from raising their voice when there's election fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the thing about Trump's, what is that, the third and fourth indictments. It's literally him contesting election that there was really perceived fraud.
Mm-hmm. So in my opinion, the guy in Russia that Putin just shot out of
Prigozhin.
the air.
Yeah.
Okay, he made a march on him with military equipment. Okay, that to me that would be an insurrection.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys meeting for breakfast is a kind of a reach.
Mm-hmm.
But but really, wasn't how many years ago? A couple hundred years ago, that wasn't there an insurrection in this country?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it's kind of a back and forth, right? I mean, yes, this is you're a very conservative show here, and I'll be honest, I voted for Bill Clinton both times.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a different Democrat, That's not the
Okay,
Democrats of today.
Right. The second time I had to. I mean, who couldn't blame, right? But so at the end of the day, it's common sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's common sense. Okay, Trump wasn't saying march on the Capitol, tear it down, burn the place to the ground. He wasn't doing that. He said, hey, there's something funny. We all said there's something funny.
Mm-hmm.
We all saw that.
Okay.
Saw the results.
Right, there's something funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can we just look into it? No, nothing to see here. Move on.
Yeah.
And no. Okay, and that's my I don't know, the pit in my stomach, because we don't. It's all one now. It isn't the right and the left. Those people out there in Washington and even here in the state, they're all one.
Right.
For themselves. It's like a power struggle, right? I mean, I can't remember the last politician that was down in southern Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we're a flyover state for our own politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that last.
Walz was forced to go to Farm Fest. I remember that last year, and it just didn't go that well for him. But yeah, that's right. It's like the flyover part of our state.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why the hell would you guys are like a lost thought in their head, right?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, to use Civil War stuff on Trump here, it's not like Trump was trying to divide the country at all. What he was doing was trying to, keep the country together, because how can we be a strong, united country if we have elections that are rigged, if we have, fraud within our own elections and we can't trust the results? So, for them to be, accusing him of, fighting against the government, he was the government, and he was trying to preserve, America's good name.
I never thought of that. That's right. He's the top executive of the government.
Yeah.
So he's overthrowing the government, but he is the government, isn't
Right.
he? Yeah.
He can't, he's not
Yeah,
overthrowing
that's
himself.
ridiculous. Right?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is crazy.
I wonder if that would be brought up in the court case, because it's going to inevitably go against or go in front of the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
But, at the end of the day, Trump peacefully handed over power, right?
Yep.
What did he do? What's he being accused of in the Georgia case? Questioning the results, and then the third indictment, sending it back to the damn states for them to decide. He's not saying these don't count. He's let's certify it, make sure the states understand that this is the right vote.
But you've been hearing, okay, the Democrats did it in 16 and previously.
Yeah.
Right? There ain't a soul on this planet that ain't bitched when they lost.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
So you crucify one and not the other?
Mm-hmm.
And that's that's where the media is a struggle. And my wife and I go back and forth. She says, you're just angry all the time. It's no, just give me the damn truth.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, don't just slant it, or don't just not even talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so the Republicans aren't really helping the matter any. But okay, well, just wave this flag. Okay, Hillary said it. Well, I don't see those audio clips
Yeah. Right.
popping up on mainstream media.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so it shows like yours that, yeah, you're a little slanted to the right. Okay, I'll give you that. But at the end of the day, I laugh because on my Facebook feed, I don't, there's no way I could. If anything from the left popped up, my heart rate would go up.
Yeah.
Because it's asinine. But then there's stuff on the right side that's asinine. It's like, people, where's the common sense in this world? I mean, I'm impressed with you, Jesse, for the fact that the knowledge that you bestow at your age. I was sitting here going, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, hope for the
Thank
future
you.
on that one,
Right?
right?
And so the thing of it is our country. You want to trash Trump, okay? There's so many things I'd like to say, but it's. I might run for governor or president someday, so I got to keep my mouth shut.
Keep it real, Craig. Keep it real.
But at the end of the day, everybody, okay, why he lost? Okay, was it legitimate? I bet if you just secretly survey 90% of the population, right and left, they're gonna say, "Yeah, there was something funky.
There's some
Yeah.
funny.
There's something funky, right?" But they're not gonna say it in front of their friends.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so why is this country so right and left? Where's the common sense? You wake up in they call it the silent majority.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when they stand up, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
And it's not that they're going to take arms, but there's going to
But
be.
they are standing up. They're standing up against Bud Light. They're standing up for Richmond, north of Richmond. They're putting their dollars behind what they think. The country stars boycotting Target. They are standing up. So yeah, they don't even have to stand up.
No, they
with
don't have
arms.
to take arms, right?
Right.
And Anheuser-Busch now. You have what is it? Dos Equis is like the number one beer in the country now.
Damn good beer too. The Dos Equis Amber. Almost that's half outside of chips and queso. That's the best part about going to Mexican restaurants. Right? I don't think I've ever bought Dos Equis other than going to a Mexican restaurant. Freaking love that stuff.
But yeah, I mean, Trump did peacefully transfer the power over to Biden, and he actually, he even wrote Biden a nice letter, which we still don't know what the contents are of it really said, but Joe Biden even said, on that first or second day that Joe Biden got a very nice letter from Donald Trump, and it would be interesting to know what was exactly in there, but and it's completely unlike what the Obama administration was doing, because sure, did Obama have the cameras there and pretend to have a nice meeting with Trump? Of course. But it was all fake, and it was all a setup job, because they were spying on Trump. They had no intention of, making a smooth transition, because they were accusing him of Russiagate from the very second he went in there. And even Hillary Clinton, she just was on Rachel Maddow not too long ago, and her and Rachel Maddow, it was unbelievable the cognitive dissonance they had, because they were arguing that, Trump has never accepted the election results. And it's like, look who's talking here, because,
Right.
Hillary Clinton still to this day says that Russia is the reason that Trump became president. And, so these people are living in la-la land.
Base Minnesota says Clinton was a different kind of Democrat, heterosexual. Obama, on the other hand, ... Beth Moy says, exactly, Base Minnesota. The Patriot Carla Nelson says, okay, Base, I guess you missed the portrait of him in the blue dress. That is, the one on Epstein's Island, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill Clinton. You know about that, right?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
It's, whatever.
Well, that's
okay,
the biggest,
whatever happened. Okay, whatever happened to that, right? Right.
Yeah,
and that's,
right.
Okay, if we're gonna crucify, let's have it all.
Right. Let's have it all.
Like you and I talked yesterday. Things. This. I've been very fortunate in my life to get where I'm at today. It's just because I went to work every day, and I don't know. Maybe I enjoy it. Okay, it makes it fun for me. But shit, I lost it. That screen over there with the text.
Is that screwing with you?
Yeah, I'm catching out of the corner of my
It's even
eye. I'm
worse
trying
when
to read
Bridget's
that,
over
trying
there.
to talk to you at the same time.
It's even worse when Bridget's over there. So really, she does much better reading the comments. By the way, I did see Tucker is a little upset that Bridget's not in the studio today. So sorry, Tucker. She'll be back on Tuesday. Basement. So coming in hot at Jesse. Shots fired. Anyone who blindly follows Trump ain't too wise. Chiming in 87 says. We got another troll on our.
Well, that doesn't matter. I'm not blindly following Trump. Obviously, I think for myself. So, everybody's allowed to comment what they want. It's free speech world.
That's where I was going, right?
There you go. We
Right?
knew we'd
Go
get
ahead.
back.
Say what you want to say. Trump, at the time and point when he came in, was probably perfect. I'm going to say probably 4 years too early, maybe. Okay. But time and place he came in is perfect, right?
Yep.
Rattle it. Just
Yep.
shake the cages. And everybody's going, well, he's corrupt. Okay, come on. He's coming from probably the top 1 or 2 corrupt cities in the country.
Right.
He's in one of the most corrupt businesses in the world
Yeah.
of real estate, commercial real estate.
Yeah, hotels, casinos, of
Yeah,
course, yeah.
and he works closely with everybody in the government, the unions, and everything to get things built in New York City. You don't think he understands that side of the coin?
Right.
You gonna say he's corrupt? Don't know shit. Okay, but they all are. I mean, if we take a look at Biden now,
Oh,
Okay.
worse. Yeah.
so I mean,
At least Trump made some himself. He built a product, built a brand. What is Biden? Well, I guess Biden built a brand, right? Basically selling us all out. I was reading the AP, which used to be somewhat objective, and they were writing about Biden, and they're like unsubstantiated. There's nothing there because Hunter Biden is apparently we're waiting until the end of September. There's gonna be another charge against him, right? You know about that?
So you understand that that's a problem for the government, for him. So if you take a plea deal, now I read this, so it's not from firsthand knowledge. If you take a plea deal, you're not setting a precedence. He wants a court. He wants his day in court. Okay. Well, if the daddy wants him to get off, and he gets it, they're gonna have, and he gets off. He sets a precedence for those charges.
Yeah.
So anybody that's been charged in the past and in the future are gonna, he got probation.
Yeah.
Okay. But if it's a plea deal, that doesn't set precedence. So if he takes that, that's why they don't want him to go to court.
Right. And that's a big one, too, because one of the charges is that he lied on the background check for getting a firearm because, the guy had a little bit of a drug addiction, in case you guys didn't know that. Well, that's a big deal in Minnesota now because if you smoke a little pot and then you go you can't buy a firearm. Essentially, that's their way to keep you from buying firearms. Brad says there's no doubt that big tech manipulated data relevant to the election.
Like with the voting machines thing that was going on? Would that be big tech's thing with it, I guess?
I guess
big tech was more like the censoring of information and not allowed to talk about the Hunter Biden story and whatnot. But I mean, the Dominion machines are their own problem too.
We're losing our comment audience because it looks like everyone's circling in on the troll. That's fun stuff. We all have been guilty of that in the past. I remember back in the day, Craig, you're on Facebook a lot, but I remember back in the day is like I would be up 10 o'clock at night getting the arguments in on Facebook. Have you learned that lesson? Like,
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't go to comments, man. Oh no, because I want to personally comment on every comment.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll be there for days, and I can't do that because, and then it's like, are you serious? then they, as you can see, right, in your comments, they start to drift off from whatever the topic was,
Right.
and it starts to become that shit show over here.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I cannot chase comments.
Good.
No way.
Yeah. I've done it in the past, but yeah, I'm definitely not doing it. I got too much going on. This is some interesting news. CNN poll. CNN. The Clinton News Network, as they used to call it. CNN poll finds in this most recent poll, Trump is actually beating Joe Biden. Go to page 16. This is SSRS, which did the survey on behalf of CNN paying for it. And if you go to page 16 of this, where is it? You'll see, there you go. And this is a poll conducted between August 25th and the 31st, last week of August. So this is after the fourth indictment. Head-to-head, Joe Biden, the Democrat, Donald Trump, the Republican. Biden gets 46, Donald Trump gets 47. Now, they just have an other category, right? And you can see only 2% don't plan to vote, so you're getting mostly voters.
Yeah, and those numbers underneath it are pretty interesting, too. Well, pull it back up, Dawson. It's got 36% vote for Biden, but 64% vote against Trump, which shows that the Democrats, they're not really in it to vote for Biden. It's just against Trump. And then on the Republican side, those numbers are basically flipped. 62% for Trump, and then the 37% is anti-Biden. So it goes to show that, Republicans have something to vote for, while the Democrats are just voting against something.
We noticed that at our state fair booth. Like, any hatred towards us was not like these are like big Joe Biden fans. They're just
Right.
they assumed we were the Trump booth, and they're like, we hate you because you're Trump booth. Now, that's not us. I mean, this is just what you guys who came up to the booth said, right? Like, I was fine. You could put it Ramaswamy, or as Mega Jesse calls him, Ramaswampy, or DeSanctimonious.
Or as that one guy said, Rasami.
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 Yeah.
So today, because you have that there, right? So Trump is the thing, right?
Yep.
So if you were to take that jar out, what do you think would have happened? If his jar,
I think probably Vivek and DeSantis, but I think a lot of people go Vivek Ramaswamy just because of the Ukraine issue, because he's the most hardcore on ending the wars.
And this is following the first debate too. So Ramaswamy, I don't know.
yeah, but
any analyst could say he didn't.
but wasn't he more or less a rhino in the past?
That's there's some allegations out there for sure of that he supported
apolitical,
masks
actually.
and all kinds of stuff.
Would you say apolitical?
He supported masks? Where was that?
Yeah, that
I
was
didn't see that.
that's out there. There's all kinds of different stuff between the connections to George Soros and all kinds of World Economic Forum. But he actually does have on his website a section that he says debunks a lot of these things. Some of it's some good information, some of it is just explaining it. But
Here's where I'm at, Craig, and I think we've talked about this a lot. Like, I'm in that category. Like, the best our country could do is a 77-year-old versus an 80-year-old, right? Sorry to be an ageist here, but come on. Like what was Kennedy at 45 or something like that when he was president? Even Clinton was under 50 at the time of presidency. Our founding fathers were like in their 30s. And now we've got one guy who clearly age has overtaken him. Trump's still pretty, cognitively there, but 77 years old, so he's going to be his age as he's retiring. So this is the best we get. Plus, so polarizing figures. It's like, I am fine with another person. I would have appreciated a different contest this time, right? But damn, those indictments, I'm like, this stuff is bullshit. And it puts me in this where I understand where people are at. I'm kind of like, yeah, even if I'm not like the biggest Trump fan, putting Fauci in charge and all the other issues like increasing the monetary supply and creating inflation, I'm like, another damn protest vote against the deep state and the corporate media. That's my support for Trump.
So it was all the indictments, right? He's kind of the underdog. Trump is the underdog in the court cases, right? He's constantly being beat on, right? And my wife Robin's a huge Alabama fan. Roll Tide.
okay.
And I watch college football, something to do, right? And one day I think they're playing LSU and the underdog, LSU scored, and I don't know if it was just natural reflex or what. I went, yeah. Oh yeah, that was a bad. Oh man, that was a bad.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think inertly we cheer for the underdog,
Yeah.
just subconsciously even, right? And so Trump being beat on and all these indictments, he's kind of the underdog against, and so society, I think, is just going to gravitate to that and say, oh, don't pick on a little kid.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
there is
you're
something
right.
about America that we like the underdog. Maybe it's because we were the underdogs in the Revolutionary War. I don't know. Maybe it goes back to then.
Well, no, yeah, it's just kind of the American dream. It's that story that everybody wants to hear. And, I think the reason that CNN probably put out this poll is they do these kinds of things. The mainstream media was even doing these things in 2020 where, they were showing these close polls, and they do it because they want to get these Democrats scared and fired up. And, they want to make sure these Democrats come out to vote against Trump. So I think that's why CNN puts out a poll like that, because it shows the Democrats he is still a threat. He can still win, which a lot of them don't want to admit. But it's completely true. He is, more likely than Biden right now to win the White House. And that scares the living hell out of these Democrats.
Well, they kind of need another big event like COVID coming back to scare people away and to steal another election. Oops, we're off YouTube. I just said steal election. Damn it. There goes our YouTube channel. Surprisingly, YouTube hasn't kicked us off in forever. No strikes, right? We haven't any strikes, right, Dawson?
Oh man, I hope not.
So you just get booted off YouTube just now?
No. Well, have they done that during a stream? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think they got AI that watches after the fact, and then they look for words, or maybe it's a comment or something like that.
It's not AI. It's just an algorithm.
It's what does that mean, an algorithm?
An algorithm is just like math, pretty much.
No, I know
like
what an
a
algorithm
robot,
is.
but it's
See,
not
you
an
just
AI.
do what a lot of young people do. You just say algorithm as if that explains everything.
Well, I know it doesn't to you, but it does.
Yeah,
to
but
me.
you know what an algorithm is, Jake, right? I mean, you know it's a special thing.
It's a special thing.
It's a special thing, right? And we know it's going to happen, right? It's a bad thing, bad special thing.
Have you ever seen the video, the guy explaining Bitcoin? This is pull up Bitcoin explanation on YouTube. It's the funniest thing because that's what I think happens to algorithm is people try to explain it and it just doesn't make sense. Because, even if it's an algorithm, isn't there something like you would consider as AI that's listening, right?
No. AI is really, really specific. AI is like an algorithm that learns, basically. And that's like the thing that watches videos on YouTube is not a learning.
But something's got to actually listen, right? Because it's not text.
Right, but that's not AI. AI doesn't listen. An algorithm can listen, but it can't teach itself stuff. That's what AI is all about.
I feel like he's bullshitting us. Pull up the YouTube stream here.
You should bring up explain algorithms to Jake.
Yeah.
I bet there's a video for that.
Yeah, exactly. We should do that. Scroll down. Keep going. What is Bitcoin in 2 minutes? Is that it? It doesn't sound like it. Keep going. I hope it's on there.
YouTube's going to think that my account is a Bitcoin bro now,
That's true.
which is weird. 'Cause I'm not
Go
in
back
any
up
of this.
and just type in funny after that.
Why aren't I in Bitcoin? I feel like I should.
There it is. That blue background. Listen to this. Is so I
This
don't
guy?
know who this guy is, but he's hilarious. All right, there we go. We got our ads because the algorithm wants us to have an ad.
That's the correct. Yeah.
There you go.
What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer digital currency. It's anonymous and decentralized. It's like being able to teleport money to anyone across the world. No, I think it's actually being teleported. It's a way of educating millions of peers to track each and every Bitcoin on a public ledger called the blockchain. When you want to send someone a Bitcoin, you publicly announce that your account is sending a Bitcoin to the recipient's account. Since the leverage is a public record, everyone knows Bitcoins are associated with each account and prevents anyone from spending money that isn't there. In the old days, even banks would hold on to money.
All right,
and
that's
then
good.
keep it locked
So
up.
now you guys understand what Bitcoin is.
Wait, does he have like a speech? No.
No.
This is a joke. This is a joke. Okay.
Well, yeah,
It's all a joke.
ClickHole's like they're kind of like the Onion, right? They're like they make funny things,
They're
like
satire.
not serious. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's it. It's like, what was Bitcoin? Like when Bitcoin came out, like no one knew what it is.
That's pretty awesome.
A couple of people did, so he's just kind of goofing on how people try to explain it, and that's what it sounds like to people.
Yeah.
I just talk about like the Fed and monetary policy with people, and you could just see them glaze over. It's like, oh shit, I'm not really connecting with people on that.
Yeah, the whole digital currency thing should be freaking a whole lot of people out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Some people would say I'm not a conspiracy theorist, right?
That's
Shit
what
hap-
every conspiracy theorist says, though.
Well, come on. All right. Think about all right, think about what's in your wallet right now. Okay, so
Do you remember when you were like, "Hey Jake, look at this app. It's showing where all the planes are." I was like, "Oh damn it, he's gone down that Q route."
well, yeah, because like so I can see which flight I got. Somebody coming home, I can track the flight. Okay, that's a useful tool, Jake.
Yeah.
But the digital piece, I mean, just like the just like the landscaping guy, right? I tipped him $50 the other day, for the and how am I supposed to do that? Hey, what's your Venmo?
Yeah.
No, and the government already freezes your assets. Whether it's tax or whatever, right? The government has the ability to freeze your bank accounts.
Yep.
Well, let's just make it simple,
Simpler for them to do it.
right?
Right.
Okay, and to shut it off for everybody at the same time. I mean, the whole electric car thing. My wife had to get one of those, and I just, the torque on that thing is unbelievable. I mean, when I drive that thing up here in the cities, I feel like one of those kids with the loud exhaust, and But
Did you get a Tesla? What'd you
no,
get?
Mach.
Oh,
She wanted
okay.
a Mustang.
Yeah, it's yeah.
But no, at the end of the day, I come from the manufacturing world.
Yeah.
That's not sustainable. Okay, and the whole mining process of it, it's just, where's the common sense? Where is the other side of the information to let people make their own decisions?
Isn't that the goofiest political issue? The lefties are like, we got to have electric vehicles. We got to get off of carbon and fossil fuels. And then on the other side, no mining. We can't mine at all. It's like, wait, how do you build your electrical cars and all your solar panels? You have to freaking mine. So they're just like, well, let China do it. Yeah, we're gonna ignore all the human rights violations over there. Let China do it. That's gonna really work.
So years ago, I came from the heavy truck world, right?
Yeah.
And so when the autonomous truck came out, it's kind of like the electric car, the autonomous truck. Everybody's going, well, the autonomous truck. Okay, if you're going to put a computer chip in a truck, 80,000 pounds, zipping down the interstate, 55 miles an hour, coming 35 to the I-94 exit. Okay, think about that for a little bit, right? Traffic, and they got sensors and stuff, I mean, they'll stop on a dime. Your computer's going to glitch. Sometime, someplace, somehow, and there's a family of four, mom's in a minivan, and gets taken out when that truck swerves. Okay, well, they'll just put their own lanes. You have the bus lanes. They'll just put them inside a barricaded wall, like they're trying to do that silly light rail going out west, whatever that is. Build a wall between the two trains. Well, they'd put the trucks, away from the cars. Really? Okay, what happens when they get downtown? I want to see that guy, that computer back that truck into the IDS. Well, they'll have a staging area, and then the last mile delivery. The smaller trucks. Geez, we got that. It's called trains.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is, right? It's trains.
Trains.
Okay, and so the whole electric car piece. I thought we were talking about something else. So how do you get electric cars?
I don't know.
See, that's what happens when you hang
I'm
out
just
with
here
me,
for the
man.
wild
We'll find
ride.
subjects that-
You were talking about COVID.
Yeah, I was going that direction. Quest for Truth says conspiracy theorist is simply a critical thinker. Effing labels.
He's got a point. He's got a point.
Well, hold on. We don't know if it's a he, so don't assume
Okay,
gender
she.
there.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it could be she too. Don't assume a gender.
Wait, Quest for Truth
They?
MN?
Yeah.
Is that not
I think
Mark?
that's Mark.
Oh, that is Mark. Yeah, sorry, Mark. That does sound like Mark. Mark, who gets accused of being a conspiracy theorist. But that's true. Like, how many times us COVID conspiracy theorists have been proven right? And let's pull up actionforliberty.com. The Biden White House going to masking again. Look at that great guy. Look at that. Oh, well, that's a cloth mask. It really works. No, it doesn't work. I think it was the state of Ohio said you couldn't do this with your shirt. You couldn't pull up your shirt like this. I'm like, that's a fucking mask. It's the same thing. Right?
So the fishing mask.
Yeah.
It's just like a tube, right?
Yep.
That's all I wore.
Yeah.
Through the whole COVID thing.
Like a snorkel?
That's
No,
I
the
didn't-
neck gator he's talking
Because
about.
I got hearing aids, right? And every time I take a mask off like that, I'd lose a hearing aid, and so
Oh yeah.
okay,
It's so dumb.
right.
But and we know it doesn't work. We talked about this, I think, a week ago, because it was just recently revealed. Dr. Osterholm, a bunch of other top scientists say they wrote a letter to the CDC in 2021. By the way, Dr. Osterholm was in the Biden administration, like his COVID response or whatever the hell they called it. So there you go. They don't work, but Biden's masking again because Joe Biden contracted COVID. Now you find that apparently in Minnesota, this is care11.com writes about it, where the Minnesota Department of Health is actually providing free COVID tests again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, I have these principled stance. Like I've always been buying my own. I bought my COVID test like back in 2020 or whatever it was, and then they get these free ones. I'm like, no, I'll just pay for myself. And it's like, wait, I paid for those ones. You know, like why am I paying for it? But then I think the bigger question is, why are you taking a COVID test these days? Like essentially, is anyone even really? I mean, anyone relatively mildly healthy, right, dying from COVID? Or being hospitalized for COVID, like that's the path of a virus. It's to become more what's transmissible but less lethal, because otherwise the virus will go away. If all the hosts are dead, can't spread. It's like, why are people even testing again? So apparently, the Minnesota Department of Health, pull that article up here, Care 11. Minnesota Department of Health is giving free COVID tests. Did you have that up there, Dawson?
I did. I'm gonna have to pull it up one more time.
Did we lose it?
Give me a second.
Mark says, yeah, this is Mark Wachowski, I think. I speculate. Basement says, Mark, you like stealth mode, don't you? Yeah, I guess, I don't know why he can't just call himself Mark on our comment section. I should know it by now. Minnesota can once again order 8 rapid at-home COVID-19 tests each month for free through the state health department while supplies last. 8.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Those are like $25 for 2, right?
yeah, you can take them and sell them.
How do I get those? I should stock up.
Yeah. In which they probably don't last that long. Scroll down there real quick, Dawson. The good news is, actually, let's watch the video. Screw that. Let's watch the video. I assume this is a video about it.
No, that's an ad, Jake. Silly.
Was that the ad, or I don't think that was the ad. I think it
No,
was a
it's-
preview for the
it's-
video.
it's
Because it was
always-
washing hands, because that's how you stop the spread of COVID,
They
right?
always
Aerosol.
They have so many ads on these websites.
Yeah, that's Gregory's got it nailed on the head. They need more tests so they can create more cases.
Classroom.
Yeah,
Local
that's
doctors
why.
say one of the big questions
Back to
they're
school.
getting from parents is how to handle COVID.
While we're nowhere near the peak we saw 3 years ago, case numbers have been creeping back up over the past few weeks. Sammy Selena has more.
I'm getting lots of questions about what the risk is, what we're seeing in the community.
Hannah Lixon,
Hold on, stop
medical
right
director
there.
and pediatrician at
Stop, pause. Why the hell is she not wearing shoes? Go back to, look at that, she's barefoot.
What?
What is she doing? Like,
Is this her house?
even if it's your house, you're on Care 11, the NBC affiliate, the Twin Cities. You're doing your interview, and she's freaking barefoot.
Is she a hippie?
I don't know.
Dirty
I don't know.
hippie. Yeah, I called it.
Just bizarre. I guess she's a free thinker, right? All right, go ahead. Barefoot woman. What does barefoot woman have to say?
What we're seeing in the community.
Hannah Lixon, a medical director and pediatrician at Hennepin Healthcare, is busy answering questions from parents about how they should think about COVID. She's also busy easing her little ones into the school year.
We test when they do get any sort of cold symptoms. We test for COVID to see if that's what it is. But otherwise, I'm more focused on getting their markers and, watercolors packed in their backpacks to get ready for a fun first day.
Lixon says people feel more comfortable with COVID, and that's okay, especially since hospitalizations are down and more people are vaccinated. But there's still a risk of exposing vulnerable people to severe disease. Experts say you should get tested if you feel sick.
COVID is still certainly with us.
Kathy Como-Sabetti is an epidemiologist with the Minnesota Department of Health.
It is a hard time of the year for parents, and there are a lot of viruses that circulate among kids, especially as we enter into those fall and winter months. Wash your hands, stay home when you're sick, get vaccines as they're available to you.
Health experts point
All right,
out
stop.
that
I can't even help it.
So-
Washing your hands doesn't even do anything with COVID.
So I got a question. They test.
Yeah.
Every time a kid gets the sniffles or whatever test, what are you going to do different if it comes back positive COVID or if it comes back with the cold or the flu? What are you going to do different? You're going to keep the kid home,
Right.
okay? Maybe. So what are you going to do different?
Mm-hmm.
So what's it any different? The COVID any different than the flu? Any different than a cold?
Yeah.
Chicken pox.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually, Craig, and that's a good question. It's one of the things I kind of open my eyes to, because a lot of us who don't mind working, right? You just push through sicknesses. And then you realize that was kind of a dumb idea, because then you're just getting your other people affected. So you're right, yeah. Maybe if you got a cold, maybe you've got a flu, you probably shouldn't go to work because you're spreading whatever that is.
Okay, so we talk about big tech being kind of the minions to the government, right?
Yeah.
Facebook, Meta, and Amazon, and everybody's telling everybody you got to come back to the office. Hennepin County, I saw on the news the other day. Let's get the people back into their offices. Well, there's somebody's not communicating because those guys are trying to get their people back in the office, but then we're going to get major cases of COVID and have to kick everybody back out of the office again, work from home.
Yeah.
So just by watching that little play out, okay, if they're telling their people get back to work, get back in the office, the whole COVID scare, then nobody told Zuckerberg that, hey, you're going to send your people home anyway in a couple months, so why are you trying to do this now?
Right.
Okay, I mean, not that, I mean, I'm a critical thinker.
Yeah. I love how you changed from conspiracy theorist to critical thinker. Base Minnesota says, good Lord, Dawson, here's a donation for a month of YouTube Premium. Now, I'm obligated when you guys do a Rumble rant, $14 Rumble rant, I'm obligated to read your comment. I don't have the context here. Dawson, what's the context here?
The YouTube Premium is so we don't get ads.
Yeah, so I mean,
but that wasn't a YouTube video. That was Carol
no, but I'll
right?
take it. Thank you
We'll
very
take
much.
it.
I'll
Yes,
get
thanks,
that
Base
working.
Minnesota.
I'll get that working before the next stream.
Share 3745 said COVID tests don't work. I ran one without even swabbing myself and still came back positive. And then Rodeo 55 says everyone should stock up on the tests, sell them on eBay, laugh out loud. Tucker referring to the shoeless woman who's apparently a physician, pediatrician. Which one should I read? He's got a bunch of good ones. Dirty hippie is one of his comments. Oh wait, no. Yeah, I wear flip-flops or slippers indoors. She was raised in a barn. It's just interesting. You're big time on TV, and you don't put. There's so many things about that segment that is interesting. First of all, we're supposed to take this person serious, and she's barefoot. You know, is that not bothering you as much as it's bothering me, Craig?
Well,
it seems interesting.
So when I saw that, right? So there was a post on Facebook a couple weeks ago, and somebody was in a restaurant out at the lake, and she had her bare feet up on a chair on a stool. She's at a bar height table, right, high top.
Yeah.
And she had her feet up, and somebody took a picture.
Yeah.
Barefoot.
Yeah.
Well, you know how they say, we don't take underwear or bra money in the summertime, right? And so, but she's got it. Everybody's wearing flip flops. So what's okay? My mother would have had my ass if I would have put my feet up on. I mean,
right.
I try to do it at home, and Robin just side eyes me and put it up on the table or something, right?
Yep.
But, okay, that's just respect for the other citizens, the other patrons in the bar. If you're putting your bare feet up, okay. I don't know, it's what do you say, China or the United States, China, barefoot, da-da-da.
You're referring to Rodeo's comment. She's a teacher. Do we still live in the U.S. or China? Use common sense.
Right, and so, I mean, at home.
These comments really are distracting you, aren't they? It is right in your line of sight.
Well, right, but the thing of it is, I'm a critical thinker. My ADHD, I can have 27 things going on at one time, and let's go. But that's a problem. You ain't keeping up, Jesse.
Bad at Harry, mowing lawn, can't listen, have a great week. And it's, we got so many good fans, and, it's actually noticeable when they're not here. So Bad at Harry, enjoy your mowing the lawn. Actually, that's where I get caught up on a lot of podcasts is when I'm mowing the lawn, although I'm not usually listening to them live, so I understand that.
But the thing of it is, right, so they're your watchers and listeners, your fans.
Yep.
Right? And when I raced the Bandit.
Tell people what that is, by the way.
Bandit is a big rig, so it's single axle trucks, like the single axle FedEx trucks, the big class 7-8 trucks. We race circle track. 12,000 pounds going around. We raced Bristol multiple times, and so. But everybody goes, "Well, do you enjoy racing?" Yeah, okay. Don't get me wrong; it's fun, right? That piece of it. But the most entertaining part for me is the kids and the fans. We used to give a poster to every kid to come down, and we'd line up all the bandits, and they'd get the autographs, right? And so at the end of the day, talking with the fans right here. So so when I'm watching this here for you, it's like, it's fun to hear what everybody else has to say. It's not often you get out with hundreds of people and hear what they have to say.
Yeah, I remember you doing a live show. Yeah, I tuned in, probably YouTube Live or something. So Craig owns the Bandit. Google the Bandit series, which Bandit Racing. Basically racing tractor trailers around
Tractors.
racetracks.
Not the whole trailer thing.
Yeah, sorry.
That's some custom issues, like a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's
There's
race
no
track-
trailers on those things. Semis, they're driving semis. They're driving the big trucks around. There you go, Bandit Racing. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
if you go to
Look at that.
YouTube, go to the YouTube channel, and
Isn't that cool?
You get a bunch of
Big Rig Series, Bandit Big Rig Series. We'll call him the Bandit Godfather. Yeah, there you go. Play that video there. Just zoom in. Look at that.
These things can race?
Oh,
Wow.
I didn't know that.
And you actually race yourself, but you own the series and
yeah. So we started it
exclusive
because-
rights on the nuts.
Right. So you see the fenders on the back of the trucks is what I used to make.
Yeah.
When I owned Minimizer, and so we used it as a content generator. So all the influencers, see, I was doing that shit years ago. Okay, creating content, and so we started the race series to create content.
Holy crap!
You know, and right there's the perfect content because we sold our fenders with a lifetime warranty. They're indestructible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it's different. It's different racing. It's 12,000 pounds. You having to turn left 4 times. But no, it's COVID kind of hosed us. We had our last race was like in August of 2020, and I told the track owner, I said, we're using your COVID protocol.
Mm-hmm.
And if I see black Suburbans and hear a helicopter coming, because it was August 2020,
Yeah.
I said, I'm just going to get my coach and I'm going to hide.
Yeah.
You know.
If you ever need a videographer for something like that, let me know because
So everybody keeps asking when you guys going to start back up again. I had 20 employees. Okay, I mean it's a big deal. We used to so if he goes back as a video guy, if you go back to the video, I mean I could spend all day on it, but we did a documentary, and then from the documentary we were going to go to whoever won or whoever had the drama that week. We would go, the camera crew would go spend a week at their shop.
Mm-hmm.
And, reality TV. And so when we did us, so we did our team first to get the ball rolling. And I learned, my sons talked a lot, they shared a lot of information that I didn't know on video when they were being interviewed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, you little shit. Really? I don't know. And so at the end of the day, COVID shut that down, right? And then by the time you disperse everybody, I mean, think about this, right? If you guys dispersed for 6 months and had to put this back together again, it's a struggle, But Robin said, my truck number is 55. She said, when you turn 55, you're done. A little old to be doing it.
So I don't even know your age.
58. Just turned 50. I'm almost 60, man. 60.
60. Well, 60 is the new 40, though. You know that?
60 is?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I'm 38.
Of course, when I turned 40, I was like starting to freak out. I'm like, damn, oh my God.
I asked one of my grandkids, I said, so how old is a grandpa? Oh, 50? Oh, you're a nice little kid.
Yeah.
You can come over to Grandma and Grandpa's anytime, 50 years old and you're a grandparent, I mean, I was fortunate enough that I had all my kids, all 4 of them. They're all out of the house by the time I was 42.
Wow.
But in the book, it tells you what my life was like.
Yeah, I didn't even mention this. By the way, Craig wrote a book, If Success Comes Overnight, You're Going to Jail. Now, you need a parental advisory, explicit lyrics on this book, just so
I think
you
it
know.
is in the side, isn't it?
It's great, though. I love the book. It's an interesting story. Kruckeberg, who has taken his family company from a gross revenue of $2 million annually to over $30 million annually through strategic and blatant branding and market techniques. By the way, I can never go to a trade show again without thinking about your book. You know that?
Oh, yeah, I catch that all the time.
Yeah, because it's like you learn a lot of lessons from you on trade shows. It's very fascinating.
I had that exact. So this morning, my youngest, the youngest twin, we got a trade show coming up in 2 weeks, and he owns a trucking company, and he's going to haul our stuff down to the trade show for us. And we got into an argument about the trade show booth. I'm looking at him going, seriously? It's just, I've been doing that shit for 35 years. And you want to start telling me, okay, that's funny. There's a few other words said as a father son, and I just laughed, right? But no, we were at an NHRA race in Brainerd a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
One of the announcers came over. He had read
Mark
the book.
was a fan of the show.
Yeah. Actually, I never did get over to that party. I missed
Oh
that
no,
part.
you didn't.
I never got over to that party. And the announcer goes, NHRA, so he's been with their announcer. He's the voice of NHRA, right? When you watch the broadcast, and he goes, NHRA needs to learn what a trade show is. This is a trade show.
Yeah,
it's marketing. Point. You're a brand. Jesse's definitely a brand.
Jesse's a brand.
Okay, and everything's a brand. And if you're not promoting yourself or your brand, and that cartoon sketch you got right there is a brand.
Isn't that great? I didn't go to Vegas for the first time until in my 30s at some point. Trump's already president. And I get off, you land at Vegas airport and you start driving to the Strip. And one of the first things that pops out at me is Trump Towers. And it just hit me. That guy's been running for president for 30 some years. Like, is there a more recognizable brand out there than Trump? I mean, he had his stakes. I actually have ties of Donald Trump. This is way before he even got into politics or became, a candidate. A suit. I got a Donald Trump suit, by the way. But like branding on TV, all that stuff, like a successful brand. Like everyone knows. Instant name ID, right? Instant name ID.
Yeah, I mean, and he did it well.
I would say, the hair too, right? Like there's so much to that brand that's recognizable. Yeah. And now his most infamous photo ever, the mugshot. Which I think they probably worked on that for at least a day.
Did I read that right? Some rapper just had it tattooed to his thigh.
I think I heard that.
Because now Trump's he's a criminal now, and
his approval rating or his numbers are going up in the black community.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not shocked by that at all. He's keeping it real.
Yeah.
So
and they, some of them think the justice system is rigged against them, and they see it's being rigged against Trump. So they got that in common. And I think this time. Get ready for 30-40% for the black community for Trump.
Well, a lot of the stuff is rigged against black people in America because they con them into voting Democrat because it's like 90% Democrat vote. Like that's what the black community is. They con them into it and never solve any of their problems, right? They keep them poor. They keep them dependent on government. And it's mostly inner city black people. And it's like, it's not working out well for you guys at all. And so I'm not shocked that someone like Trump is the one that could speak to him. Plus, Trump's a reality TV star. Like, that's a person that can communicate with the public. And then you get these Ivy Leaguers and these, elitists. Like, I mean, that's the thing about Biden. He's an elitist. That's what he's always been. He's always been in government. He's been in government for over 50 years. How's that guy going to connect with the people? He can't. You remember this because you're old enough. Remember George H. Bush getting a lot of shit back in the day because he didn't know how to use a cash register or what a cash register was?
Right.
Yeah. It's like these guys can't connect with people.
Let's talk about the younger generation. So, my oldest stepdaughter, she went down to Belmont for college for music and theater management. You don't think about it. Hey, how do you mail a letter? What? Huh? Where do I get stamps? Go to the bodega, the grocery store, the post office, and now you can just print it right online.
Yeah.
Right. And but they show people with the telephones.
Yeah.
Okay, the younger generation. So I'm not judging. What's that guy say? Ted. Be curious, not judgmental. Like, how do you not know that? Okay, let me ask. But it's just you understand. Trump literally spoke in most of his speeches at a 5th grade level.
Yeah. And it's brilliant to do that, by the way. In politics, just anyone in politics knows that. You got to break down the message real simple.
Right.
Yeah. But, the stuff that's great about him is, he invites, Rob will probably like this one. I think it's probably Alabama. I can't remember which football team it was to the White House, but the national champions for that year. And they, lay out fast food, because it's the White House. You could have, the nicest of nice. Right. And he lays out fast food and, got a lot of.
Well, that was during the government shutdown. So that was part of the reason why he did it, too, because he was trying to keep things real cheap.
Yeah, but still, it was he got a lot of credit. And then there's that time when we went out in Ohio. What can't I think of that? West Palestine, Ohio? Is it Palestine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why did I say west?
East, yeah.
East Palestine? It is east, yeah. And he just goes to McDonald's and buys everyone like their stuff. He's like, yeah, that's pretty down to earth. One last thing we got to talk about before we end today's show, because we said we'd bring this back to you guys. The SRO issue, the school resource officer. I had Jesse dig into this thing. So, Craig, I don't know if you watched the show on Tuesday, but the Republicans in Minnesota, and I'm talking about like, let's say the Democrats are the B team. We don't have the A team here. Well, actually, we're the A team. Come on, we're the A team. Hey, where was Mr. T? We can't be the A team without Mr. T. He doesn't get it. So the B team, the Democrats are the B team. The C team is the Republicans here in the state. And they hold a press conference. School resource officers, a big problem. We've heard about it. It's like all they're talking about right now in the political media for the last 2 weeks, school resource officer problem. And legitimately, a bunch of police departments are taking out the school resource officers out of the school districts because of a law change written by the Democrats, passed by the Democrats. So the Republicans hold a press conference about this issue. And a journalist asks, what part of the law can you point me to that you guys have an issue with? And they couldn't answer that question. So they hold a press conference about the problem with the law, and they don't even know what part of the law it is. So here we are trying to report on this thing, and we're stuck. So literally, Jesse's got the language. Let's pull this up. Dawson, and I think it's line 67 here. I'm going to pull up my computer because I'm going to have a hard time seeing that screen. So this is
67.24.
And the bill here is HF 2497, and we'll go through the votes here. And if you're tracking, it's line 60. What was the line? 67 what?
24.
6724. It's talking about prone restraint and certain physical holds not allowed. This is not showing the state statute. This is showing the bill that it passed in. So when you see underline, that means it's new, okay? And so all the underline is new stuff. It says an employee or agent of a district, including a school resource officer, security personnel, or police officer contracted with the district, shall not use prone restraint. Second part, so that's A, B, is an employer or agent of a district, including a school resource officer, security personnel, or police officer contracted with the district, shall not inflict any form of physical holding that restricts or impairs a pupil's ability to breathe, restricts or impairs the pupil's ability to communicate distress, places pressure or weight on a pupil's head, throat, neck, chest, lungs, sternum, diaphragm, back, or abdomen, or results in straddling a pupil's torso. Okay, now, we looked this up. You know, we're not legislators, but we know how to look things up, bills and stuff like that. We were trying to do it on the fly on the show last week, so we do it after the fact. I could tell you what's wrong with that law. You probably could too, Craig. Like, there's nothing in there that specifies, you know, in case of life,
does
limb.
it just say officers, security officers, or does it say administration, teachers?
You said that it included them too, right?
Yeah.
That was the precursor.
Well, we don't talk about that piece, right? So if you look at that, I mean, you know, it's been a couple days since I've been in high school, okay, but there's the videos out there on YouTube, and shit goes bad, okay. And if you got to physically get in there and start breaking people up, you just broke about 7 of those rules,
Right.
okay. All you're trying to do is save somebody from getting his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're trying to that's what I'm looking for. We're trying to legislate to prevent. No, you teach it. You educate. You teach it. You know, somebody's going to break that law. So there's going to be a teacher that's going to break that law.
Right.
Yeah, by accident.
By accident, right? You know, what do they do? So okay, so now what is the penalty for that? Does it say in the law?
Violation.
I'm not sure.
It says violation conduct that violates subdivision 2A is not per se corporal punishment under the statute. Nothing in the okay, so I'm gonna have to go. I'd have to read a little further in the law where the punishment is.
But think about this, right? So how many teachers or administration, anybody's going to go, whoa, and step back? I'm not part of this.
Yeah.
Just because. So somebody's getting tromped on, beat up, but they're not going to help him because they're looking out for their own personal security, safety by not wanting to break the law and go to take and deal with the penalty.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do then?
Yeah.
You know, so you can't restrain somebody that's beating up on another kid, but you'll just let them go. When do you call the ambulance? Okay.
Right. And, that's the thing, it says these things like you can't have any weight or pressure on the head. What if somebody's spitting? Are you not allowed to push their head down? What if you need to put someone in handcuffs? Are you not allowed to put weight on their back? What about, if you need to take someone down because they're beating someone up? Are you not allowed to grab them and make sure that they get taken down? Just
I think my
they're
size makes me guilty if I have to take somebody to the floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is what's interesting is, okay, so we just throw this at you, Craig, first time, Jesse today looking at it. Like, you guys can at least already describe the problem that you have with the law, and here Republicans have a press conference, and they can't even answer the simple, basic question.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you think actually read it? Seriously?
I just read the whole thing. It's unbelievable, Craig, because that's a valid point. They probably didn't read it.
Did you look through the state budget? Did you read through the state budget?
Well, you're asking the wrong people. Yes, we did, actually.
Okay.
We analyzed it.
Right? Who does, right?
Well, first of all, it's a bunch of omnibus bills. That's how you read through the state budget.
Okay. Well, so I was going through it, right? The line item by line item when they passed it.
Okay. Yep.
Well, I was looking just because you got to remember, right? I was looking for FAA. How are we going to support the airports? What was going to benefit our company, right? Once you start reading that and start seeing what's in there,
oh yeah,
the society, we're getting shafted, and we're smiling about it.
Yeah.
By the way, this bill has appropriations in it. So yeah, so when you say the budget, because this is the education, let's see what's it called here. I'm going to go back to
Education Finance.
Education Finance Bill, HF 2497. So you're right on the money. So as you're reading through the budget, as you say, you probably didn't look at the education. Why would the FAA be in there? But that's the stuff that's in the budget bills. They're passing omnibus bills. So this bill passed.
So they buried it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they buried it, and it's under the provision of corporal punishment. So this is it passed by a vote, and we did say this on the last podcast, 35 to 32. So if you're tracking, there's 34 Democrats in the Minnesota Senate. So if it passed 35 to 32, it means there was a Republican that voted for it. It's on page 84, 85 of the Journal. And as we mentioned the other day, it was I think it was Carla Nelson, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Carla Nelson, Republican, flipped the vote. I think it was a partisan vote when it came, because it says 70 to 62 in the House. So the Senate voted. So we had one Republican vote. Not the Patriot Carla Nelson in the comment section. No, not you. That's why we call you the Patriot Carla Nelson. The Senator Carla Nelson, Republican from Rochester, passed that shit. And that's why you don't vote for these omnibus bills. Not just the fact that they're unconstitutional, but then you're voting for stupid shit like this.
But
so I'm pissed off at both sides on this one. Because the Democrats, I don't even know why they're passing this law. Well, yeah, I do. They're catering to their base. But it's not an issue, is
Rodeo
it?
55 says it perfectly. Parents should teach their kids at home that they don't act up in school.
Yeah.
They don't need to beat up anyone anytime. Okay? I don't know. Maybe the Democrats don't have any kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're boarding them.
And so they are 100% correct. Society needs to do a better job of raising our children.
That was very woke of you, by the way, not assuming Rodeo 55 was a guy or a girl at that time.
I said they.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It was very woke of you.
Well,
I was
because
complimenting
you called me out on it before.
I know. That's why. Yeah, you're a quick learner, Craig.
I can be taught.
I think Craig did a good job in his first show. What do you guys think?
Mm-hmm.
Should I have Craig back? Comment section. Craig back on the show? I think he did well.
Yeah, next time you buy lunch, right?
All right, I'll buy lunch. You like the Axles? That was good.
That was good. That was Axel's. That was the Caesar salad with the grilled shrimp.
Yeah.
But like I was saying earlier, I ain't had popovers in 35 years.
I know.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I got to introduce you to Dale. Dale is like, he's a fanatic about it. Rodeo is, I am a woman. So Rodeo 55 identifies as a woman. That's good. I kind of figured Rodeo 55 is. The funny thing is I probably know some of these people.
But so 55 is my truck, my race number.
Yeah.
That's kind of what made it.
Well, that's what she did. She created the name because she's like, Craig's inspired me so much. Bring him back. Beth Moy says, yes, bring him back. Tucker, you got the Tucker approval. You got the Tucker approval to come back on the show. I mean, if Tucker said no, we wouldn't have brought you back. K-Wall for life, by far, like the biggest financial support of the show. Like, I think he's averaging $10 to $20 per episode in Rumble Rant. People like the show. They just click on donate amount so that their comment pops up. Called Rumble Rant on YouTube. It's YouTube Super Chats.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I could start my own show and people just because Amazon
Easy
that's the biggest
there.
scam in the
Easy-
world, right?
e-
Because it's
easy
way
there.
too easy for me to buy something on Amazon, so I can do it here.
He's gonna take us out.
Yep.
There you go. Craig's gonna take us out. That's it. I look what I did. I created the competition, and now he's gonna take us out. He's gonna raise all money. Basement says yes. Bring the old man version of Mort back, because you are taking Mort's place today. Mort, I don't know where he is, and I don't think Mort's gonna be back next week. So we probably have Dr. Neil Shaw. Craig's a busy guy, so I don't want to.
I like Neil.
Yeah,
I really do. Ever since I met him the first time, a
Dude's
very,
wicked smart.
very real individual.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with our societies. We can't be real.
Yeah.
You guys don't want the real Craig on
But
the show.
No, I do. I really do, Craig. Because you got real a little bit, but you're not quite the Craig I know.
I'm disappointed I didn't get to use my
There you go.
my phone.
I didn't
there.
drop one F-bomb, did I?
See the
No, you didn't.
screen capture. We'll screen capture that one. Robin will like that one. Being of light. Yes, definitely have Craig back. I don't remember his screen. Brad Ganser says Jake offered me cheese balls to come back on. Yeah, Brad's actually been on the show.
We're running out of those.
No, we got a big bag. Anyone that comes on the show can have a big bag of cheese balls. Get the hell out of it. The truth hurts with Craig Kruckeberg. Ouch. I'm already replaced. I don't mind. I'll produce the show. That'd be fine.
So can you imagine me sitting in that chair right there?
Yeah.
And let me bring my topic to Jesse.
Yeah.
His knowledge. Oh my
Listen, some of our best shows are shows I'm like, Jesse, what should we... That's what I said today. I go, Jesse, what's burning in your heart right now that you got to get off your chest? And he didn't have it. But the days he's got it, I'm like, let's talk about that. Because Jesse, when he goes, he goes.
That's a great way because my CFO, she'll see me come in and she'll go, what do we care about today, Craig? What do we care about today? What do you mean, what do we care about? Let me tell you what I cared about. I don't give a shit about this, And so it's, what do we care about today? Because it changes.
Mm-hmm.
Damn near hourly in our lives.
Right.
Right.
What did he say? I didn't see it. What did he say?
I thought he said shit.
Oh, well, I probably swore more than him today on the
Okay.
show.
I have
Basement
no
says
qualms.
nothing beats pulling the Jesse strings and letting her rip. That's true.
Yeah.
No one's asking where the hell William is these days.
Oof, ouch.
He's your left counterpart, right?
Yeah, we call him straight-laced William, the blonde Matt Walsh. He felt bad that he got boxed in on the DeSantis train that's going off the tracks. So.
Yeah. He put himself on that train. Nobody forced him on that train.
That's pretty amazing how quickly DeSantis fell off, huh?
It's shocking. No one saw that one coming.
Uh-uh.
I don't think anyone saw that one coming. Did you see that one coming?
I knew it wasn't going to go good, but I didn't think it was going to go that bad that quick.
That was like almost overnight where it was like people just stopped caring about
Well, I
after
mean,
his
it started with
story.
the Twitter announcement. Ever since, he had the failed Twitter announcement for his campaign, it's been downhill ever since. So, Guantanamo Bay's having a tough time.
Have you seen the videos that circulate? I don't want to call them memes because it's not a meme, but it's like of his goofy smile.
Of him just being really awkward.
Yeah.
We did one of those on the show.
Did we?
Some people say he's got Asperger's. I don't know. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
That was the total Trump move. A lot of people say he's got Asperger's. Not me. I didn't say it, but a lot of people say it.
Some people are saying it.
Some people are saying it, not me.
So okay. Remember I told you to remind me?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Shit, that's right. See, it was my fault. I didn't remind them.
Okay, so you brought that up.
Yeah.
Right? So for Bandit. So Adam, one of our announcers for Bandit is Howard Cosell. You probably don't know Howard Cosell. Okay, that's sad when people around us don't know somebody. Do you know Howard Cosell?
No.
Oh my God.
These guys didn't see the movie Super Troopers. I was so upset about that.
Serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they knew Office Space. They got an Office Space reference, and they didn't get a Super Troopers. Office Space was before that.
But anyway, with Adam, so this guy calls, and he wanted to do the announcing at one of the Bandit races. I said, all right, that's fine. I don't care. Because he normally announces the races on Friday night. Okay, that's fine. And my intern was sitting there, and he goes, "Who is that?" And I said, "I don't know, man. That was just the weirdest phone call I ever had. I think the guy was hammered." He goes, "What?" And I said, "I don't know." So then I get down to the track, and Adam comes up and introduces himself. And okay, there's just something off. I couldn't put my finger on it. And so then his dad introduced himself. Adam went to the next person to interview, and he goes, hey, thank you, for allowing Adam to do this. You seemed confused. And I said, yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. And he goes, well, he's got full-blown Asperger's. I went, okay, that explains it. So earlier when we were talking about this screen, right? So we got rained out one night. So I said, hey, let's put all the bandits in the lobby of the hotel, and let's do a Q&A. And Adam, and so Adam's, if you ever go back, go to the bandit, and you'll hear Adam announce, and he's phenomenal. He's calling a race, and he goes, and Mike Morgan's out for redemption. Who comes up at a millisecond with the word redemption?
Oh, no, that's great.
Right? But that's Adam. And they had a TV up like this, all the video guys, and Adam, phenomenal announcer. He turned and saw himself on the screen and froze.
Really?
Okay, and then we all jumped in and he got started making up the slack for him until he settled out of it.
Yeah.
But and so then when I seen that, I thought, God, shit, am I gonna freeze?
Yeah.
'Cause
no,
I saw
you did
Adam
freeze.
do it. It didn't, but once he got away from, he didn't see himself, and that's what
Right.
makes him a great radio announcer.
It sounds like people want you back, Craig, so you got to come back. All right, I get distracted. Speaking of being distracted, I get distracted. Basement says, check out DeSantis. Bitch hips next time you look at it. Do you know what he's talking about?
No, I'm not
All
sure
right,
what that
I
is.
can't pass this up. This is what we're going to go out on. Look that up. I am very curious now.
What am I looking up?
It says, look up DeSantis bitch hips.
Okay.
Thanks for the parental advisory.
I put it in. I may as well use it.
Does that keep you on YouTube then if you put that up?
No, I just said if you get to know Craig, you might need that that warning.
DeSantis bitch hips.
Yeah, I guess I have no idea what this is, but I have a funny feeling it's gonna be hilarious. Not on YouTube, just Google it.
Oh my God.
Google that, because it comes up with weird results. By the way, we didn't even get to the sexuality of Obama today. Just kidding.
Which one?
Well, Tucker did an interview with apparently a gay prostitute that he solicited back in the day. Oh, funny.
What am I doing here?
Wow. Missed that mark, huh? That was good. Craig was on it. I totally missed that. Which one? Not Michael. Did a heckler call on DeSantis just another hilarious Ron DeSantis? What are we looking at, Base Minnesota? Go to images. Is that it?
That's almost.
I mean, yeah, I was thinking of that first picture there on the left side there. That's what I thought that maybe it's in reference to.
What the bleep is he wearing?
Yeah, that's.
No, he's golfing. Those are what do they call them? Golf pants, but they're.
Yeah.
Oh, God! Like I'm looking at that. I thought those were white boots.
Well, maybe they are. Was
Yeah,
it a
those are.
hurricane? Maybe it's a hurricane. He tucked his pants inside.
Yeah, I think it was a hurricane type thing. This was from a while ago, though.
What kind of dude wears white boots? That's weird.
Well, they could have been yellow. Maybe that's what they had available.
No, you wear your freaking brown, green. You know?
You are judgmental, aren't you?
I guess I am.
What is based him in?
Yellow boots would have been fine, but
I
white's
just
out.
bought a pair of
Yeah.
muck boots, some big old brown muck boots.
Based
They're
him
on
in.
sale big time at Cabela's. What's
I-
that?
We have no idea what the heck you're talking
Based, I don't
about.
know. Based, I don't know what you're talking about. I only watch you on Rumble. Can't stand YouTube. I agree. We need to Bud Light YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I thought he was going to. I thought I was going to leave this episode laughing my ass off. Craig, we're gonna have you back. You got to come back.
Yeah, I can do that. As long as it's same time, so I can go to lunch first over at
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Is there any chance? Is there any chance we could do lunch afterwards, or do you have? Are you like pretty regimented with your?
Oh yeah, you're not gonna. My team knows not to have any meetings scheduled after 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Until Craig eats.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
Because when we eat, what do they call that? Hangry? Or
Yeah, hangry.
Little Snicker bar commercial.
Well, that happened to me this morning, but see, I'm like, I got to be eating at 11 because I don't usually eat breakfast. So we'll figure this out.
Yeah.
We don't
but they got a bar.
yeah.
Happy
do it.
hour.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Apps,
Yeah.
Apps.
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
I can eat twice.
That's All right. Well, with that, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back on Tuesday. Bridget will be back at studio. Tucker, your heart will be full again. Do we have a special? I don't think we have a special guest on Tuesday. So, Maggie, Jesse, myself, Bridget, coming back to you on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Thank you very much for tuning in. Take care.